My name is Mackenzie Strofe, and today I'm going to teach you about CountFast 20 and multiples of 10. This deck, the very first card, will talk to you about the purpose. And the purpose of this deck is to get kids confident with multiplying bigger numbers together. Oftentimes they see big numbers and they think that they cannot do it, but once they know different strategies that CountFast has to offer, then they will become more confident and they will be more excited about math and more willing to do math. The second card is an instruction card, which tells you or students different ways that they can use this deck. So each color deck offers something a little bit different. The yellow deck is multiplying by 20s, the blue deck is by 30s, 40s, 50s, and then the very last deck is a combination of all four of those. So the first thing, or the first deck that we have is the yellow deck, which is multiplying by 20s. So what we want kids to know here is that 20 is really made up of 10 times 2. So if you were to separate 20 into 10 times 2 and then instead multiply 18 by the 2, then you would get 36, and then you add that 0 back on because 36 times 10 is 360. Same goes with 30. So if you have 18 times 30, then you need to think about how 30 is really decomposed into 3 times 10. It's much easier then for students to multiply 18 by 3 than it is to multiply 18 by 30. So 18 times 3 is 54, and then you multiply 54 by 10. Or as you might have learned in our other strategy, the 10 strategy, then 54, and you just add that 0 when you multiply by 10. Same goes with 40 or 50 or 60 or so on. So 40 is, you can decompose 40 into 4 times 10. So if you take 13 times 4, then you get 52. And then you take 52 times 10, or you add that 1 0 onto 52 and you have 520. The same can be done for 50. So if you think of 50 as decompose it into 5 times 10, then it's much easier to do 18 times 5 than it is 18 times 50. You can also think back to another CountFast trick that we had, or strategy. When you are multiplying a number by 5, you really change your 5 to a 10 and then divide it in half, because 10 divided in half is 5. So here I would have 180 times 5, 18 times 5, and if I think of the 5 as a 10, then it would be 180, and then I would divide that in 2, which is 90. And then you would add the 0 on, which would be 900. And then the gold deck, like I said, is a mixture of multiplying by 20, 30, 40, and 50. There is a time card at the back of the deck, so students can grab a deck and they can time themselves to see how much faster they're getting each day. When they see that their time is decreasing and they're getting faster and faster, then their confidence is going to skyrocket and they're going to want to do math much more often. Also, there's an answer card in the back of the deck. If a student is doing this in an independent small group rotation, or if they're in their car and they have some free time and they're doing it in the back seat, just trying to kill some time, and they get stuck on a problem, then they can pull this out to double check themselves to make sure that they have the right answer.